That's so interesting.
Yes, ma'am. We're back in Sierra Leone, and we crossed the border illegally. Like, completely illegally.
What do you mean? What are you doing?
We have no stamp. We left Liberia, no stamp, and then we get into Sierra Leone, no stamp.
No, don't send that one. Don't
Yeah,
send,
bro.
No, bro. Don't send.
They're coming for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Good morning from day 4 of the 3rd ever Walk for a Child event, walking 180 miles from Monrovia all the way back to Bo, Sierra Leone. Today, I feel quite chipper, if you can't tell. I slept very good, and my feet are wrapped up, and I feel okay. I think as long as we do kind of smaller chunks at a time, I'll be okay. Today, we are crossing back across the border into Sierra Leone, which I do think has the potential to be quite an interesting video. And here's why I think that is because when we crossed over into Liberia, we had an immigration officer help us from the Sierra Leone side and said that when we cross back into Sierra Leone, we will have to pay a $60 one-time visa fee. Here's the issue with that. Normally, when we come to Sierra Leone, at least when I've come in the past, I pay an $80 visa on arrival fee. That is a single entry visa fee that I pay at the airport every time I arrive. So this time around, I was looking online and it said multiple entry, $160. You had to buy it online. So I bought it online. I have the document. Matthew has his printed out. I have mine in a PDF form, and it says multiple entry. So now begs the question, why would they say that we have to pay a visa on arrival at the border? Even though I showed the guy, hey, we have this document that says multiple entry, and he said, no, you have to pay at the border. Well, I don't want to make any assumptions, but based on my experience here, things I've seen, and the little bit I know about this country and specifically the government, corruption. I mean, I don't want to say that's specifically the reason, but also everything at the border, both on the Liberian side and the Sierra Leone side, is done on paper. Every person that crosses is written down on paper. Nothing's on computers. So the way I think about it is they got 2 people crossing that potentially are going to pay either a $60 or $80 visa on arrival fee. That's 120 to 160 US dollars, which is like 3 to 4 million leones. It's a pretty good payday. I don't know if that's the reason that they do it or if it's really just like the rule that you have to pay when there, but it begs the question, why do they have multiple entry if you can't leave the country and come back in? So, Hindalo said, we ain't paying. And we ain't gonna pay because we got a multiple entry. We already paid for 2 visas. So we're gonna do our best to get across with no issues. And if issues arise, then I'll bring you along for the journey. Additionally, we have a good friend joining us today who's been in a handful of videos before and kind of the mastermind behind this whole program, Mr. Manny. Mr. Manny is joining us today. He's very nervous because he forgot his documentation at home, but I think he should be okay as long as, you know, he's proper and nice and doesn't act up. I think we should be able to get him across the border. Let's check in with our good friend Matthew to see what he has to say about the day.
Oh boy.
Good morning, Pumwe.
Good morning.
What do you think?
I am thinking kind of hungry. So we're gonna have a little munch before we get going. It is good.
Let me get a little munch.
I'm also kind of trying to hide some of these things because this would be gone
In a
week
second.
and a half ago.
All right, well, there you have it. We got 7 miles to the border this morning, and then we cross over. Hopefully it's not too much craziness, but if it is, we in for a journey. I'll check back in. There you have it. Last town in Liberia, and we are now leaving. Good friend.
Good friend, his name is Manny.
Yeah, Abraham and Manny, good friends.
Good.
Very, very good friends. Manny's making all the friends out here. We're about maybe a mile, 2 miles from the Sierra Leone border. And as we get closer, the sun's coming up. It's a very beautiful morning. Feeling pretty good this morning, as I said earlier, but excited to bring you along this journey. Hoping to stop to get a little snacks before we head to the border and start the whole crazy immigration process. But until then, keep on walking, keep on vibing, and having a good time. Good morning from the city of Bow Waterside here in Liberia, the border town between Liberia and Sierra Leone, the same border that we crossed just a few days ago. And this morning we've been walking for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, about 6 miles or so far today. And right now we are about to head up to the border, go through immigration and cross back into Sierra Leone. This, fun fact, is going to be the 4th ever land border that I've crossed on foot. Never really had a goal of doing so, but it just kind of ended up being that way in the last couple of years. So I'm very excited to cross back into Sierra Leone today and continue our journey on the 3rd ever Walk for a Child. With that being said, let's head to the border and get back into Sierra Leone. Morning, sir. Very good dance moves. So right there in front of us is the immigration office. I don't believe it's even opened yet. The gate was kind of closed up ahead, I could see, but our team is here waiting, hanging out. And I think now we just kind of wait to see what the process is to cross back over. I guess this is a good time to talk about my experience in Liberia very shortly. The videos I think will do it good justice in its own, but everywhere we went, and I think this can be said both for ourselves, and I might even have Abraham here speak on it a little bit, but the hospitality in Liberia is top-notch. I mean, one of the best in the world. I'd compare it to that even of what I've experienced, obviously in Sierra Leone, but also in India and Pakistan. People just being so welcoming, opening up their homes and allowing us to feel at home in their country, which is a very, very cool thing. Abraham, what do you think about the hospitality in Liberia?
Oh my God.
What is your experience?
I experienced a lot of things, and I hope we'll continue to do this job.
Absolutely. Were people very welcoming in Liberia? They made you feel like you were part of their country?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
And this is what, your first time going to Liberia?
Yeah, this is my first time to went to Liberia.
Wonderful.
I appreciate that then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They do good.
Yeah, yeah. Mark, what do you think? People of Liberia.
Oh, they are very friendly, very inspiring, and very hospitalizing. Accommodation, no problem. Even the light system is very good.
Light system is very good.
Yes, and we have a very good time there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mr. Manny, what do you think of the people of Liberia?
It's not said anything.
Yeah, he's a little quiet this morning. Maybe we'll check back in later. So there you have it.
It's hungry.
Liberia has been an incredible time. Very grateful to be here, and I know that this will not be our only time in Liberia. It's only the beginning of getting into the journey that is Liberia. Kinitoma,
Yeah, but
what did you think of Liberia?
Liberia is good anyway. We've done a lot from Liberia to Sierra Leone, so we thank God because we are going back home today.
Absolutely.
So we're happy for that.
Wonderful. Yabo, Winniebo, what do you think about Liberia? She says, very nice. Well, there you have it. We're gonna wait, get, you know, documents checked. I don't know what we gotta do, but we're having a good time. I think we gotta get a team picture in front of the bus. In the checkpoint, no documents. No documents. Stopping to get some potato greens right here at the border. Total cost is 250 Liberian dollar, which I think is like $2.50. I could be wrong, but that's kind of my guess. But I think it's a little more expensive, probably because we're foreigners. But we're gonna dig in, we're gonna eat, and get going with our day. Incredible. Potato greens. Very good. It's essentially like the potato in the ground. The root that grows out of it, it's all the leafy greens on top. Mix that with palm oil, some beans, some meat, some fish. It's very, very good. Kind of almost has like a sweet taste to it in a sense, but for what it looks like to what it tastes, not a lot of people would assume on first glance how good it actually is, and it's incredible. So we're gonna dig in. So we just finished eating and now we are crossing back into Sierra Leone. I guess there was nothing we had to do back down there. I guess I don't really know how this process goes other than we literally cross right back over. Seems a lot more simple than getting into Liberia. And here we go. Yeah.
Nante.
Now we cross the bridge, go down to the immigration side in Sierra Leone, and hopefully we make our way across to Sierra Leone. Well, folks, there you have it. We are currently on the bridge heading back into Liberia. Just took a couple photos, but the Mono River is below us and we begin our journey to immigration down into Jendema, where we will stop to do some more logistical stuff, get our stuff organized. Hindlo needs to get his shoes put together, tend to blisters and things like that, but hopefully we run into no issues down here at the immigration office. Tibo, first time in Liberia, what do you think, Bo? Very good time.
Liberia is accommodative.
Very accommodative. Good for Mendemui?
Yes.
Very good for Mendemui and
Very
Pumui.
good for Mendemui and not Pumui.
Not Pumui. No, Pumui had good time. Very good time. Now we go back home. Yeah.
You gave until the 12th, right?
So this has been kind of bizarre. We literally just walked out of Liberia. We didn't get any exit stamp on our passports. We just walked across the border. Our team said we were good because we already did that. I don't really understand. Now we're in Sierra Leone. They asked for our passports. They're gonna do the stamp. I mentioned earlier potentially running into issues. The issues I think we might run into is that we bought a multiple entry visa, which essentially is paying 2 for 1. But when we left for Liberia, our friend told us that we'd have to pay for a visa upon arrival at this border, which doesn't make sense because we bought a multiple entry visa. My honest assumption, just from being here and my experiences here, is that may just be a way for them to make some extra money because nothing here is documented on computers. Everything is written down in a book. So maybe it is true, maybe it's not, I don't know. My assumption is that it kind of is within the range of they just want to have us pay $120, $160 US cash to give them some money, which would be quite the payday for them, but we'll see. Right now they're checking the passport right in front of me, and hopefully we're able to get a stamp and just get through. I know Hindlo has told me that we're not paying nothing, so.
We should have maybe communicated with Hindlo a little more about when and what to do with this, because I agree we can put up a little bit of a fight per se, but I'm obviously going to go with what Hindlo recommends and what he says to do. So,
well, now we are heading back to Liberia because we never got our passport stamped, and in order to get back into Sierra Leone we need a stamp out. So my suspicion on why that was kind of weird was affirmed, because it's just weird to leave a country and not get a stamp out. Granted, this part of the world, a lot of question marks arise in almost everything we do, but that makes sense that now we have to go back to Liberia, get a stamp out, to then come back into Sierra Leone and get a stamp in. So back to Liberia we go.
this would be fun for you to edit.
All right, well, we're not going back to Liberia. Now we're going back into the Sierra Leone side. Apparently we're getting the stamp there. None of this makes sense. And maybe if there's anything that can be learned from this video, because so far I feel like this is kind of a mess, nothing makes sense. And in order to cross in this part of the world, it's usually good to have people from either side of the country, because if we were doing this ourselves, I don't know, maybe it would go smoother, because my thought would be go to immigration, get the stamp out, go to immigration, get the stamp in, but I don't really know what's going on. We've walked across from Liberia into Sierra Leone, halfway back into Liberia. Now we're back in Sierra Leone. If we have to go back to Liberia, I swear I might cry. I might stay. I might just, yeah, that might be it. If we gotta go back to Liberia, I ain't even got no money over there, but I'm staying. So when I check back in, if we in Liberia, you know we staying.
I'm gonna keep this passport even when it's gone anyways. It'll still be...
All right, Hindola, what do we know?
Where are we? Just frustrated.
Yeah.
If the Liberian side haven't stamped the passport, I don't know what is their business on the Sierra Leone side to have us send us back so that they can actually stamp the passport. So just hanging here to make some phone calls.
There you have it. Making phone calls, doing business, figuring out where the stamps need to go. Somehow, some way, we're gonna make it back into Sierra Leone. So we made it back to Sierra Leone, kind of. I'm so confused. So we went halfway back to Liberia. Then our team called us to say come back to Sierra Leone. Then Hindola was down at the immigration office saying he had to make a couple calls. And then we were told, hey, start walking up the hill. And then I turned around, Hindola was like, let's go. He's like, this is a bunch of rubbish, which is fair. But that means now I left Liberia without a immigration stamp out. And I do not have an immigration stamp back in to Sierra Leone. But I'm here, I'm in. So one of the more bizarre border crossings I've ever experienced in my life. I really don't have any answers for it other than we might run into issues when we leave the country at the airport. But that being said, we're back in Jendema, we're back in Sierra Leone. This part of the world continuously leaves me with just big old question marks. But either way, welcome back to Sierra Leone. Excited to be here, excited to continue the journey. Passport or not, we're gonna have fun with it. So we just stopped in the markets, got a couple supplies. Now we are heading out of Jendema. Hindola's concern is that maybe the border immigration made a call up to the checkpoint here and they might try to stop us and get some information on us, but we will see if that's the case. Otherwise, we are in Sierra Leone, again, without an immigration stamp. I don't really understand, but I've been told not to worry, it's totally fine. And given my experience being here before, I have been in the country with an invalid visa before, not on purpose, it's just how things have ended up, being in parts of the country where we couldn't access a new stamp or things like that. But in this part of the world, I don't know, a lot of things happen that I don't fully understand, and I'm with local people, they tell me it's fine. So I kind of just go with the flow. So there you have it. We're heading up to the police checkpoint and I will bring you along to see if we can make it through. And on our way out of Jendema, away from Liberia, further in to Sierra Leone. Just past the police checkpoint. Wasn't stopped, no issues so far. I believe we are in the clear to keep on going. We push forward, getting up the hills are very tough on my feet, but we push onward. Our goal today is to get to Fairo. We break, and then once it's about 3:30 in the afternoon, I think we can push another 10 miles in the afternoon, break up our distance over the next 4 days to get back to Bo. No.
You have to be somebody that when I say 7:30, you have to register here. Or you can't wait until when I say 8 o'clock you register.
We're stopping here to, I believe, speak to a school. We've done this a few times in the walks past, just to say hello, kind of share our message and, you know, just support the children and tell them good job on continuing their education and emphasizing the importance of doing so. So We're letting the head teacher speak now, and I believe after that, Hindala will kind of chime in and maybe say a word or two. Maybe I'll say a word or two, but these are always really cool experiences that we have stopping at the school here with all the school children.
When they see me and some people that also we come all the way in Monrovia, we go all the way in Abo by foot.
Keep quiet, I don't want to hear noise.
So that they want for join me for waka by foot. Or that they get the zeal for waka. Or that get strength for waka. You get strength for waka? Yes. All right, it's okay. So why we they waka this waka? Now the two things this we don't waka. We they waka, we they come out. The first thing we waka, we come on at Jendema, we go all the way freetown by foot. Then now we don't come on Monrovia, we they go all the way inside Bo by foot. We they waka for raise awareness on then boy picking them where they rape then girl picking them. Then gender-based violence issues. Then rape issues. Then where another everybody rape business then also. Yes. Where boy picking them they grip with girl picking.
Keep quiet.
So then see and I we not want. Now make we don't decide say we they work for let's raise this awareness. Every day we they work over 20 miles. And from all begin inside that other village with the campus Fairo, yeah, we get for gold, maybe take go Zimi. And then from there we take and take go Bandajuma, take Koribondo, take inside Bo. So we also work for raise awareness on mental health. We can see some people them where then they inside community that they get challenging for think, for reason about things. And we can always dismiss them people then they. We can always feel say them people then they're not important inside society. So we they work for raise awareness. Let everybody know say if you get brother, you get sister, you mama, you papa, auntie, uncle, where it be say then get challenged in terms of the mental thinking or something that can bother them. Let we always assume for be in them people then they in a position, yeah? Okay. Let we know they assume say them people then they something wrong with them where they not go with they part of society. Yeah? So now the worker this whole the worker for raise awareness. And when the small and the one now they come up. Boy picking. You know for touch other girl picking, you rape them, you force them, you do something with them where it be say in no grip. On a don't hear eh? Yes. On a don't hear? Yes. And we all for no say if we let Salone, we for make sure say we able for protect one another. We all able for make sure say we let one another.
Come yeah.
So we have stopped at a gari facility, which gari is essentially cassava. Cassava is a root like potatoes, and what they do is they ground it up into kind of a paste, and then they dry it out, and it turns into this kind of powder. Yabo, bise.
Bise.
Kayena.
Kay goma.
Okay.
Bye.
This is the way out to process guys.
Starting my boy.
It smells really good.
Welcome to the Gari Factory. Gari is cassava. Cassava is like a root. Think of a potato. It's right behind me there. All of those leaves sticking out of the ground. The cassava is in the ground, and they pull it out of the ground, and they break it up into kind of a pulp-like mixture. They dry it out. It becomes these big chunks, kind of like this, more so like this. And then they take it and they drop it down right in here. And it becomes gari powder. This is very good. Very good, okay. This is often a meal eaten every day for breakfast. Add a little water, add a little sugar. Fills up the stomach, keeps you full. It's very, very good. One of the most delicious dishes here in Sierra Leone. No. Bise. Stopping here in a village about 2 miles from Fairo, just resting here for a little bit, can hang out. Lots of clouds overhead. We've done about 11 miles today, feeling pretty good, but just gonna take a rest and hang out.
2 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
To leave or to wake up?
To leave.
To leave. Just as we did from.
We are in Sierra Leone. Here, I have my, you know, this is our territory.
Right, right.
So here there is no fear. If it push comes to shove, I know how to bypass.
You got people.
I got connections.
Yes.
So we can leave at 2 in the morning. And we go past that border. And whatever noise they want to make, we can make the noise there. And keep going.
Hey, hey, hey! Wow, this village has a jelly factory. We love to see it. These are about to be wonderful. I could drink probably a gallon of water. Very, very thirsty. So I'm glad that somehow they showed up with a bunch of coconuts. I have no idea where they came from, but that's how things go. Sweetman, you excited for the coconuts?
I'm actually super excited for the coconut.
Very excited for the coconuts. You excited for the coconuts?
Yeah.
Very excited. Coconut is good for Pumwi and Mendimoy. It's very good. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll let Dustin do it.
Don't you swallow it.
Yeah, this way. It's an interesting taste. It's very interesting taste.
You don't swallow it, you don't chew it.
So you don't chew fufu, you just swallow it. Let me try one more piece. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Took about an hour break at this village here. Wonderful people, lots of laughter, had some coconuts, had some fufu for the first time. Very interesting, but yeah, having a great time. Heading about a mile up the road to Fairo, and then we rest. And I think I'll cut the video there. It's been an interesting day so far. I'll fill you in at the end about what I think is the update on the immigration status, considering we left Liberia without a stamp, and we came into Sierra Leone without a stamp. So, we are here. We are in the country, but we have no stamp. It's an interesting place. Coming up on a police checkpoint, word has it that the border town checkpoint called ahead to the other checkpoints and mentioned that we were coming, so hopefully we don't run into any issues here. Matthew just got across just fine, so here we go. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
How are you?
Fine.
Kaya goma. Yes, sir. No problem there, straight through. There's a couple officers back there, but now we are on our way, and I think Fairo is just up the way, or kind of go down a little bit, but I don't really remember this town from the last walk we did in 2021. I know we walked through it, but it just feels very nice to be back here in Sierra Leone, in the home country of my friends, a place that I call home, and yeah, it's just very, very nice to be here. Let's wave to our friends. So we took a little detour through the town. We're on a dirt path now, but I think we're getting up to the school, the main road. We got a bunch of children. Bise, how are you? Kaya goma. Bise. Ooh, now we got a little bridge coming up. Now it's getting fun.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Oh, and he said,
The last time we walked in the stick bridge with the bikes. Like this.
really?
It's very tough for Pumwi. Now we have found ourselves at a secondary school. It's very nice, lots of students. It's getting hot, so struggling a little bit, but yeah, our off-beaten path took us kind of through a school field. Bise, Karina. Yeah, it's a very nice school. Lots of students, everyone's outside playing. So we left Fairo, which supposedly was where we were gonna rest, but Then we continued on. The team forged ahead. Not the greatest decision in my opinion because it's so hot and there's really no villages for miles. But there's this little one here I'm pulling off because I'm losing steam. My skin is burning and I get so hot sometimes. I get like these cold flashes. Not good. But yeah, get a little frustrated sometimes when we walk during the day when there's really no reason to. We have the entire afternoon once it cools off, but I don't know. Sometimes we just push ahead and it doesn't really make sense, but we're getting to this village. I sound not well, but there you have it. Kapoiwebu, I think is the name of the town. Looks like this. It's a very small village, but I'm sitting here till at least 4 p.m., not moving. My pee is brown. It's not great, but we thriving, having the time of our lives. Yeah, happy to be here, but boy, oh boy, do we need to stop walking during the heat. I'll check back in later.
That's so interesting.
Yes, ma'am. We're back in Sierra Leone, and we crossed the border illegally. Like, completely illegally.
What do you mean? What are you doing?
We have no stamp. We left Liberia, no stamp, and then we get into Sierra Leone, no stamp.
No, don't send that one. Don't
Yeah,
send,
bro.
No, bro. Don't send.
They're coming for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, bo. Yeah, I can't even stretch. My blisters are hurting.
Welcome for joining. Dustin's off the map. Going to Mendy bathroom.
Yeah.
And now we leave him behind to do the dirty work. God, you're crunching.
Let's wait.
Huh.
For Dustin. Let's don't leave him behind.
What?
I said, let's wait for Dustin.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
We have more 1 hour to walk.
Oh man, I think we're all gonna look crazy right now. What?
We have 1 more left.
One more?
1 more hour.
1 more hour, yeah. I think less, because we were about 3 miles, right? 3 miles we usually do in about 1 hour. Yes.
I'm not part of you guys.
Oh.
Game over, we lose.
We have reached our final resting stop for today, kind of, but this is where I'm going to cut the video because we are going to shower and rest maybe for 3, 4, 5 hours, and then we are going to head overnight. We've never done that before, but we kind of started to do the math. We're about 80 or so miles away from Bo, and we realized in order to get there on Sunday with kind of a lighter walk on Sunday, we need to push tonight. So overnight, we're gonna try to walk 17 to 20 miles during the middle of the night and then rest during the entire morning, the day, and then push 12 more miles tomorrow evening, which will set us up Friday with about 50 miles left to make it to Bo in a matter of about 2.5, 3 days. So that being said, hope you enjoyed today's video. It's kind of crazy. We're still kind of here in this country illegally. I don't really know how to process that, but yeah, quite a journey. Hope it gave you some insight into just how things can kind of take a left turn in this part of the world, but you kind of just go with it and you keep on walking, you keep on cruising, and you keep on smiling. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Good night. So we're coming up now on the Zimi checkpoint. The checkpoint that we were told earlier was called by immigration to say that we never entered the country properly. So we'll see if we'll face any issues. Here we go. It's also like 2 a.m.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
All of the security officers were asleep, so we should be okay. Easy. No problem, Kinitoma.
No problem.